Hey guys, Nick here. Couldn't really fall asleep tonight, so I decided to make a video on some chess, some games I played recently. I played 5 games today of Blitz, and I won all 5. Uh, just climbing the rating ladder. This is me, Nicky C on Lee Chess. If you ever want to play me, just send me an invite. I'll play you at any time, Nicky C. It's my new account. I got my account banned last time because I used the computer once. I just wanted to see like what the computer plays like, and I used it, so my account got banned. Whatever. I don't use it anymore because there's no point. I'm at 1300. I think I could. I usually stabilize around 14 to 1500. It's not that good, but like I said, I never really had coaching or anything, and a lot of this I learned on my own and through studying and whatnot. Here I put the analysis board in, and I wanted to go over my new latest opening, which is with the white pieces, which is the London system, and this right here is the London system. It's a pretty good opening. I think has a lot of different traps. It gets this bishop on this long diagonal, and kind of gets things going. Even though e2 e3 is the main second move because it opens up the bishop, and mainly you want to put the bishop here, your knight here, this bishop, this here, and you want to start attack on the king side. Even though it looks like if this is here, this is here, then it's you're overprotecting the d4 pawn. But uh, people that don't play as the London with the London system don't realize that it's actually it's an aggressive opening. It's not a passive opening. It's the opposite of passive. So he plays here. This is actually a pretty good move. Bishop f5 because it prevents my bishop from coming into d3. That's kind of like what the whole point of the London system is. The only problem what he runs into is, so I played here, so the only problem he runs into is eventually my knight will come here and hit him, and you'll see the theme comes around. I play c3 because it prevents him from coming in here. I didn't play c3. He could play knight here. Let's see. Let's go to the analysis. See if I can move his pieces. Board editor maybe. Oh nope, that's not it. Okay. He brings his knight here. Brings his knight here, and then I'm gonna turn this off. He brings his knight here. Then it will hit that pawn, and there's nothing he can do with the fork on the rook and the king. So I prevent this by playing c3. So the reason why he doesn't play d4 or d5 is because I simply just take and take. He doesn't really have, so he moves here. There's a way for me to, let me bring up, see if I could bring up, alright, so here I could, okay. Okay, so here I could edit it. So the reason why he doesn't play here is because I take here, he takes here, I take here, and now I win this square, and I could have ideas of controlling the center here. So for people who don't know much about chess, is you kind of want to control the center, because the center, when you control the center, it's all about piece activity and how many squares you can control. I mean, that's pretty logical. The more space you control, the more things you can do, and then you can maneuver and eventually attack the king, or set up a position where you're controlling more space and they are overextended or overprotected. So he plays e6. Develop my knight here. I think I can develop here too, but there's actually, the threat is here. So he makes a non-move, then I just go here, here. So I'm setting this move up. And he plays bishop d6, which is it's a good move. So this is like the main idea a lot of times. And I need to really put this point forward that whenever in the London system someone plays bishop d6 because he wants me to trade queens, and then I don't know. Now he's got, I mean, what do I have? I have two knights that aren't really doing anything. I mean, plays here. I don't know. It's just messy here. The idea is, and this is why the London system is so great, and I've been having so much success with it. I play blitz. Sorry, I play 5 minute plus a 3 second increment blitz. Is to play this. So now if he takes here, we have the open file, and eventually, when we are able to kick this bishop out of here by doing something like this, I don't know, let's move here, and this, he can't take here. Now we get this, and we're gonna get some kingside play with the open rook file. That's why whenever someone plays bishop d6 here, you always retreat here. And when they take it, even though you're doubling your pawn, you're opening up the rook so that if he castles kingside, you're going to have a great attack here. Kingside castling is more common in chess in general because it's quicker, since you have to only develop two pieces, the knight and the bishop, where here you have to do the queen also. He's one move away from both, but we'll see. Okay, so he plays here. It's a very bad move, and you'll see why. Now, it doesn't. It's the knight's only really hitting these squares that are kind of already occupied / they're already defended. So it's a bad move. I would have rather have seen him play here, and then he can control the center e5, e4 square, which is like kind of a key point of the game. Because like I told you, I'm trying to get this in. I developed my knight. Nothing really to say about that. I told you I was going to do that eventually. And he kingside castles. So it's on, boys. It's on like Donkey Kong. I am going for the king. So, instructional move. Attack the bishop. He has nowhere to run. If he moves here, I just simply take. I mean, what's his defense? I don't know. He's going to lose this pawn. I have so much activity. My king will eventually castle queenside, and it's just over. So he goes here. He smartly goes here, and now I understand the idea of putting his knight there. It's still a weird idea, but I kind of get it now. I take it anyways, and he surprisingly takes with the f pawn. If there's everything you've ever heard about beginner chess, is never, ever, ever leave your f pawn or take with your F pawn, or basically fuck with your F pawn. It is the least defended thing on the board. So I develop my bishop. Get a good diagonal here. Eventually this is going to open up and it's going to be brutal. I think he's just trying to make some moves, develop his queen. Maybe get in the game that way. I'm ready to castle queenside. So I pressure it here, kind of just provoking this move, and then once he goes, it kind of gives me just like a tempo. Once he goes here, that I can castle, and then I don't know, you can play anything, and then just get it here. So I do provoke it, I do castle, and he makes this non-threatening move because eventually my queen was coming back down to the c2. So this is a non-move. It's non-threatening. He has no free squares. All his squares are guarded. Knight guards here. The bishop guards here. This is double guarded. So this is a stupid move. A lot of moves in chess. I think this is something that I need to really instill in people: is don't make threats that are easily defended. This does nothing. It puts the knight on the side of the board, and I think I'm going to make a video about like beginner chess principles, but one is don't move your knight to the side of the board, because look, now the knight only has 1, 2, 3, 4 spots to go to instead of 2, 4, 6 more. I mean 4 more. So you don't want your knight in the center of the edge of the board unless it's really doing something, like my knight when he was over here, when he was hitting the bishop that was on f5 and f6. This does nothing. Put my queen back, getting on this nice diagonal that will open up soon via the h pawn. So I develop my knight here, and when I analyzed this game earlier, this was actually a mistake. I'm sorry. So this was a mistake, because now if he takes, I can't castle because it leaves my f2 pawn. So what I should have done, instead of castling here, was play my knight to f3, blocking the rook's attack. So now if he takes, then I can castle. If you move something like that, then I can castle. Now we're going to get that diagonal in. We're going to push the e-pawn, and all is going to be good. So what do? I castle. See, the thing is, that's defended, but it's only defended by my bishop. So what he should have done is take here, take here, take here. Now I'm down a pawn. Now my attack is a lot harder because he's in my business. He can open this file up, put his knight here, get his queen over here eventually. But of course he misses it, and I get it in. Eventually he takes here, I take, opening it up. Just all part of my plan. You need to realize your opponent's plan, and he's playing into my plan. Attacking here. Look, what does this move accomplish? It accomplishes nothing. Let's turn on the so Stockfish says this is the right move. Stockfish said he wants d5. Stockfish is the computer. It has about a 3,000 elo, which is like 200 points higher than the best chess player in the world. He's trying to have some compensation on the king side and attack my king, even though it gives me a +4 rating. But of course, let's turn that off. He does some non move here. I play my knight to g4, 5, what I was gonna do anyways, and now it's just over. I mean, what is this move? At least get your queen. I'm sorry, your queen here. Maybe your queen could come down here, making some threats with. I don't know. I really don't know. But this rook move, it doesn't do anything. I guess he's gonna try to push e5, e4. I don't know. Maybe that's his plan. But I just want to like showcase a lot of why I really do like the London system. Hits my knight, so I sack a pawn here because taking here does absolutely nothing. I want to keep my knight here. The main reason I want to keep my knight here isn't just for the protection of the rook, but is to cover up the f7 square. So if I get my rook here and I go here, it's checkmate. So I go here. Now I'm threatening mate in 1. And I don't think there's a defense against it. Can we try to defense? I guess that would be... It's still checkmate. Stockfish just wants to delay it. Yeah, Stockfish just... I guess Stockfish just delays it. If he wants to lose the queen, you could take it back. So anyways, he ends up taking here, basically resigning on the spot. Want to show you one last game where I play the London again, and he does a little bit of a different opening. This time, I want to show you how I don't just overprotect the d4 pawn, and I attack the king side almost directly. So whenever someone tries to fianchetto their bishop, fianchetto is an Italian term, I believe, that means of the flank or to the flank or flanking, something around along the lines, and all it is when you move your bishop on these diagonals here. It's a very common move and common play in chess, and I want to turn these it gives a good long diagonal. That's called fianchettoing. It's just a chess term. But whenever I'm playing the London system, instead of making the classic e3 move that opens up my bishop that can go here eventually, maybe get my pawn here. I don't do that when they fianchetto on the king side. Go for a direct attack. So I guess my rule of thumb is if they are fianchettoing their kingside bishop for some kind of King's Indian defense, it's called the King's Indian, I think the best response is to get your knight in the game right away, force e4, eventually get force e5 to kick the knight, push the h5 pawn all the way up, trade your bishop off of this bishop, so get your bishop here, something like that. And you'll see, it's exactly kind of what I do. Push here, he can't take it because of the defense. And now I see what he's doing. He's gonna push d5, and that is somewhat of a Caro-Kann variation. A lot of times in the Caro-Kann, my knight is on d2 instead of c3, and I defend here. He tries to get like a solid center, pushing his d4, and then eventually I push here, but the knight's not usually here in the Caro-Kann, and your king side's not opening. So I develop my knight, as you'll see. I'm gonna get the evaluation gauge down. The book actually wants me to like push right away, but I get nervous a lot when I'm playing speed. Like I said, I'm not the highest rated player in the world, but so he goes for this classic Caro-Kann structure, and I play a Caro-Kann advance. this is not the Caro-Kann opening. This is a London type of weird London King's Indian Defense opening. And instead of playing, what he should have played, which is the bishop, at least he has some counterplay. I just move here, and it stops me from marching too far down. He plays a very passive knight to d7. Now, there's a principle in chess is that when you defend, you should attack at the same time. This knight now does nothing. It hits a very defended pawn. That is covered. And the only other square that really makes sense, since he's not going to go back here, is b6. But since all the action is happening on the king side, your king is not safe. All your shit's still in the back row. That is a very poorly paced knight. So I hop on that. Move the queen here. Like I said, I'm going to trade off the best defender of his king side, which is his bishop. He has to make 3 moves before he can castle queen side. So his king's in the center. If he keeps his king in the center, I trade this off anyways, and then with my pawns, I break it open and use my bishops to attack the center. Since the center's locked up anyways. But he does castle, which is fine, because, like I said, if his king was in the center, everything would be a lot easier. I would get my rooks in the center eventually. Let's just like make a setup for me. If his king was in the center here, I mean, it's just over. So he castles. I go for the classic exchange. His bishop is a good defender of his king. It's not really a good bishop, but it's a defender. And he makes a move here. Now I think he's trying to open up his queen. So I mean, he has kind of no choice. But allowing me to get in e5 is it's basically over now. And I'm forcing checkmate here. And with his next move, he basically resigns. That's a free queen. And the game plays out pretty... I don't even need a castle here. I did it just because I knew the game was over and I just didn't want to risk any mating attacks. I'm just going over this really quickly since I'm up a queen, and as they say in chess, when you've got the queen, it's over. The reason I am able to take here is that he cannot take because I'm pinning it to his king. He attacks here, and the game's over there. So when someone fianchettos with the London, you go knight c3. When someone does not fianchetto, say he plays another classic move, then you open up everything. Usually they won't play that. They'll play something like this. You play that. And you play the classic setup for... It's actually probably not it. It's probably something like this. Here we get the classic London system. Just wanted to show you guys that video. Probably get to sleep here soon. Any questions? I went over a lot of things fast, but I just wanted to show you how I've been enjoying the London system lately. Like I said, without the fianchetto, play something like here. Just open up your bishop, get to this side. If they do attempt the fianchetto, because fianchettoing is slow because they have to they have to move the pawn first. Just go on the offensive with the knight. Get e4 in and get that knight out of there so you can get the checkmate early. That is it, my friends. If you have any more questions about chess, I can do some more instructive chess openings like from the black side. If you would like for example, from the black side, I played the Sicilian, and oop, and from so the Sicilian would be, if I was black, I play the Sicilian against e5, and I usually play the dragon. That's the Sicilian dragon. And then the variations from here go on and 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 on. I mean, you could do the Fischer Sozin attack. I mean, there's just the Sicilian is so highly studied. We'll flip the board, and then when he plays d4, so let's just go over that again. Against d4, I play c5. That's the Sicilian. I usually go into a dragon, which is fianchettoing your bishop, and this time you have enough time. Against d4, I played knight f6. Usually they go for the queen's gambit, and I play the Grinfield, which is considered the best opening against d4 if this setup is correct. You probably develop something like this, and then you could push here, something like that. I don't know. Something solid. I don't know. Catholic here is probably wrong, but yeah. Any other questions? I could go into chess theory opening more and why all this stuff matters and why the Sicilian is so good. Prevents this. Get a tempo on the queen. You can't push there. So there we go. If you have any questions, just let me know. See ya.